All right, we are here, Miss Fit Boss TV. We are here for an episode of Transformation Inspiration. I have an awesome individual on here, and I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell us some exciting stuff about himself. So, Mr. Joe White, I am going to hand it over to you. Tell us some good, awesome, amazing things about yourself.
Well, my name is Dr. Joe White, and I've been a speaker, a coach, a business strategist for probably about 25 years. I've had a chance to work in venture capital. I've had a chance to work at CEO Space International, one of the largest business conferences in the world. And I've had the pleasure of consulting everybody from celebrities to major business owners to just the average person.
Awesome, awesome. So we have decided, actually, you came up with this awesome idea. So thank you for the idea, and have volunteered to be the first on our transformation inspiration. Yes, you are hashtag number one. So tell us, what was the turning point for you in deciding to lose weight?
So, last year I run a couple different businesses. One of them was like a courier service that I was starting for my son. And I ended up spending a lot of time in the evening working. And because I was working so much helping that business, I pretty much stopped working out.
Wow.
And previously when I would work out in the morning, I would lift weights, but I really didn't eat well. And so early December, I started feeling sick. I couldn't use the restroom. I was dizzy. I couldn't see. And it was kind of weird because I never needed glasses and everything was blurry and I couldn't see anything. And I went to the dollar store and, bought those glasses you buy for $1.
Oh, yeah.
So finally, my mom and my sister was like, hey, you know what? You have to go to the hospital. Something's wrong. So when I went to the hospital, the doctor said your sugar is 500. And it's a good thing you came in because you could have went into a diabetic coma. And me, I've never been in the hospital in my life, and I'm probably a control freak. What makes me a good business strategist is I'm good at studying trends and predicting most things that are going to happen. So I'll kind of check and see, what are the best trends. And that gives me a sense of control. And when I was in the hospital, I felt I lost all control. Wow. So I immediately decided when I get out of here, I'm working out for 2 hours a day, every day. I'm going to transform my body and get in the best shape I've ever gotten. And so that's what I've been working on.
That's awesome. So had you had any signs of being pre-diabetic or anything prior to that?
I was always on the edge, but I always worked out enough to stay from actually being diabetic.
Gotcha. I can imagine how scary that would be. It's good that you got there in time though, right?
Awesome that I got there in time. And again, they said I also had high blood pressure. Cool thing is now that I've lost weight, and I'm sure we'll talk about that, I'm no longer taking blood pressure medicine, and I hope to actually be off all other medicine in the next few months.
I love it. I love that goal. I saw a quote the other day that said, if your doctor is not trying to get you off of your medicines, you need to go ahead and find a new one.
Yes.
Good stuff.
I agree.
I love it. So what did you do to lose weight? I know you said you worked out for 2 hours. Go, if you don't mind, sharing a little bit more with us about what you were doing during those 2 hours.
So, one of the things I would always do before, I would lift weights and I would do cardio. And that was kind of my regimen. This time what I decided I would focus in on just losing the weight first. Mm-hmm. So I started going to the gym and I would do about an hour and a half, 2 hours of cardio. I would find a movie that was very motivational. So my favorite movies that I like to watch was Creed or Rocky, one of those movies, or The Karate Kid, the new one. Right. And I would watch the whole movie while I was on the elliptical.
Dang,
and so I did that for like 2.5, 3 months and lost 56 pounds.
Wow. In 3 months?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So after the 3 months, then what did you do?
So after that, I decided I was going to bring in weightlifting. I also really looked at my supplementation, my hormones, and I started realizing when I did my research that men normally over the age of 30 start to lose testosterone. And I went back to the doctor and I said, you got to check my testosterone. Because even though I would lose weight, I would still have that belly fat. I would gain some muscle, but not enough muscle. Mm-hmm. She said, well, it's around 372. If you're under 300, that's low. But when I did the research, there were a lot of other doctors and people, experts saying, hey, your testosterone should be higher. And if you can increase it, it'll make you feel better. You'll gain more muscle. You'll lose belly fat. So after I did that research, I decided I would take a testosterone supplement.
Oh, nice. Okay. And how has that worked for you?
Oh man, incredible. I have more energy. I have more focus, more confidence. Hey, for the libido. And geez, I mean, just for now that I'm putting that same energy and effort in my workouts where I'm doing 2 hours, I mean, not only did I lose that 56 pounds of fat, I gained 20 pounds of muscle. So
Wow.
yeah, my arms went from like 15 to 18.2, which is one of my proudest things is the
Amazing.
guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you lost a total of 56 pounds.
Yes.
Wow. And so how long have you kept it off?
Probably about 6 months.
That's
Almost right at
awesome.
about 6 months. Yeah.
And do you feel has it been challenging to keep it off?
It's not so much challenging to keep it off because I've made exercising 2 hours a day a lifestyle.
Gotcha.
I'm always searching for something I can do better or different, or there's things that are kind of like my Achilles heels, my vices, things that I like to eat. I'm trying to find healthy substitutes that taste good that I don't mind eating. I think one of my biggest challenges was like sometimes when you're dieting, you feel like you're torturing yourself.
Right.
And it's been my goal to make it not feel that way.
So what is one thing that you absolutely love that you found an awesome substitute for?
Well, I love cakes, pies, and pastries. So
That's right.
um, now I look forward to breakfast. I use the Kodiak pancakes, waffle mix.
Yes.
I make the protein waffles. I use sugar-free syrup and some whipped cream. Whipped cream I thought was bad for you, but it's actually pretty not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not the best, but
But they also have the coconut milk and the almond milk whipped cream. Have you tried
yes, I
those?
use the almond milk, whipped cream, and it's wonderful. So I look forward to breakfast every single morning.
I can imagine. Why not have breakfast every single meal?
That's a great idea. See, great minds think alike. That's why I like talking to you, Liz. You know, one of the things I always admire about you, you know, you to me have always had a really inspirational story. And when I first met you, you were a great trainer, but you like, I just don't like telling my story. And I would always say, Liz, you got an amazing story because your story has always been super inspiring to me. And I use it as a point of motivation as I was transforming and losing weight. So yeah, I'm sure people now around the world are being touched by your story because I've always felt it was moving. I can't hear you now. It's like your mic went out. Still can't hear you.
How about now?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool. Well, I was saying I appreciate that your words mean a lot because I know that you've really helped inspire me along my journey. So thank you.
You're
Take
welcome.
those earbuds out so everybody you can hear me.
Yeah, I hear you much better now.
Okay, perfect. Even better. So how has the 56 pounds off, how has that changed your life? Like what do you do? Your confidence? How's that changed everything?
Well, I'm signed up to run a 5K in June on June the 29th. I am going skydiving, whereas
No
before you could
way.
not, you know, the skydiving place. So you could not go skydiving unless you wait under 2:30. So now I'm going skydiving next month as well.
Oh my God.
Um, my clothes, of course, are different, which you have to buy a new wardrobe, but I'm enjoying that, buying different sets of clothes. And then, of course, the attention from women and other people. I mean, that's always amazing when people notice your transformation.
Right. Awesome. That's so exciting. I'm so happy for you. Now skydiving, I don't know that I can get on that level with you,
You
but
should come with me.
I'll let you go the first time and then maybe after I'll consider.
And we could film it. We could film it and show it on the internet, Liz.
We could put it on Misfit Boss TV.
Yeah.
I might not have clean pants by the time I'm finished. I would be so
We won't show that part. We'll show the front, not the back.
right. We'll edit it, right? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I don't even the idea of it makes me nervous.
And I'm scared of it too. I think it's for me to, it's led me to realize, okay, if I can do this, let me start conquering other fears. Let me start knocking down other things that are challenges to me in life that I should be getting over anyway. I will say another thing too about losing weight and getting in shape. It was very beneficial to my business. Where even though I've been good at what I've done, there's only so many hours in the day you can work if you don't have the energy.
Right.
So, you know, maybe I would put in 8, 10 hours and I'm exhausted. Now I can go 15 hours, 16 hours because I have more energy.
That's awesome. That's really good, especially for you because you are running like 50,000 different businesses
All the time,
all the
all the
time.
time. And then and I also feel like the people that I work with or help or my clients, I feel like even though their businesses are theirs, they're like my businesses too. So I'm always thinking, if I see Liz doing something, like, you know what, Liz, you should implement this or this should happen. So I'm always not just thinking about what businesses I have. I'm thinking about businesses that my friends have and what is it that they could be doing to make their business better.
Always putting together some awesomeness. All right. So, few other questions for you.
Okay.
What excites me. This is, I mean, you're clearly real, but this is what I've always wondered, especially when I was going through my own journey. Like, you hear these stories and you're like, they're not real people, they're just talking. So, what do you still struggle with every day or on a regular basis?
I'm tracking my meals for one. I think sometimes you're busy. I'm eating something. I forget to track my meals. I think sometimes too, if I get off course, like with a cheat meal, I won't track it purposely because I'm like, I don't want to see the calorie markup on the Fitbit.
Right.
So I think that's probably my number one thing. Or if it gets late and I'm in the car, I just try. It's hard not to just grab something because it's so hard to find healthy food on the road that you can eat while you drive. So then that's when you kind of resort to the cheeseburger, the hamburger, or the chicken nuggets and things like that. So that is definitely a challenge every single day.
Gotcha. What do you use to track your meals?
I have a Fitbit, so there's a Fitbit app that I normally use, and then my app kind of works in unison with my scale and all that other stuff.
That's perfect.
Which I stopped looking at weight too. That's another thing. I stopped looking at weight because I started realizing when I started really building muscle, my weight went back up. But it's not the same type of weight, but my inches never changed.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's really important. So thank you for bringing that up. A lot of us get caught up in that number, and it's like it can make or break your day, but in actuality, it's really not that big of a deal. I actually was just talking to a client, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I went out to dinner for my anniversary, and I gained 2 pounds, but I split my meal, and I didn't even eat that much." And I'm like, first of all, you're not walking around with your number on your forehead. You're the only one that knows that number that went up, right? So I respect that, and I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, so what food is your vice? I know we talked about your pastries. And I know you got the Kodiak cakes. Is there a number one dessert or pastry that you're just like, if it's in front of you, you're gonna eat it?
Oh, banana pudding cake. There's a place in Greensboro, North Carolina that has the best banana pudding cake. And if I go anywhere close to that restaurant, it calls my name. No. So, and it's just like hypnotizing me. And then I just have to go in the store and get the banana pudding cake.
So have you driven by there recently?
No. I try to stay as far away because if I come within a mile, it's going to draw me in.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm a big wine lover. So also that's an issue sometimes. On the weekend, I'm very used to going to the farmer's market, picking up some fresh vegetables, some meat, some French sourdough bread, and a wine, putting that on the grill. And that was always my kind of my guilty pleasure. So I've kind of tried to slow down, and maybe where I would drink a bottle of wine every 2 weeks, I do it every 2 months.
Nice. Good stuff. Nice. All right. So finally, what is your number one tip for people who are wanting to start their weight loss journey or have started and stopped and felt like they just should give up?
I think do it in phases and find a way to enjoy it when you first start. For me, enjoying it was watching those movies that kept me inspired and motivated. And then it didn't seem like I was on the elliptical for 2 hours. Right. And I'm not saying you need to go to that extreme. And then also find a goal. For me, my biggest goal was right the day after I got out of the hospital, I had to stay home and not work. My family took my computer. I happened to see a picture of Clark Kent changing into Superman. So they show him with the suit, and then he was breaking open his shirt, and you saw the Superman emblem, and then he had the Superman outfit. And then what made me decide that I was going to really get ripped was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to do that same photo shoot, but I'm going to do it in a different way. I'm going to create my own shirt, which is this. And And the E stands for entrepreneur. If they can't see
Yes, stand up. We can't. There we go. Okay.
you can see now.
Yep.
Yep. So the E stands for entrepreneur. And on the back of my shirt, it says entrepreneur superhero. So that's kind of what I wanted to, like, one of the things I'm starting to teach my clients now is people like yourself, and you would definitely want an inspiration for me coming up with this as well, is people who have escaped the 9 to 5 and started a business, to me, are entrepreneur superheroes. And so I wanted to start to represent that. I wanted to start like finding people, embracing them, talking to them, but I also wanted to look the part. So that was another, that was another piece of inspiration for me to actually get in better shape.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for all your inspiration, all your awesome words and tips. It is greatly appreciated and greatly beneficial. So thank you. #1, Mr. Joe White, for all that you do and all that you inspire. And we will be talking to you soon.
Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.